Hi, I know it's just me. Andy is on his way. I thought I would shame him by making him be late though to the show.
Welcome to another episode of
Scrutiny with Cheri and Andy.
I'm Andy Vargo, and this is my bestie,
Cheri Hardman. We decided to do something.
Yeah?
Andy Vargo and I will do anything for attention.
Yes, we will.
I'll tell you what I did. My nails, my hair, and my nails, my hair.
You gotta give yourself credit for all the things you do.
I'll tell you what I did earlier, later.
Now I don't know when it'll happen.
Earlier, later. And we're here to discuss my nails, my hair, and
Being the best at no matter what it is that you're doing. Now I don't know when it'll happen.
how are you?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I just went to the casino for a little while to play, and then I probably spent too much money. And then on the way home, I realized, wait a minute, it's June. I'm going to Vegas in 1 month. I'm not supposed to be in the casino.
Oh, yeah.
1 month. That money should have gone into savings for the vacation. So I
Right.
have to hustle now. Get some money saved up for vacay.
Better get on it.
What?
You better get on it.
Yeah. What are you eating?
Skittles.
Oh.
Like me. I didn't have any sugar in my house, and I went over to my friend's house for movie night last weekend, and she gave me a big bag of like candy, and I'm just like, why?
I love Skittles, but I've got TMJ. So after a while, my jaw just really starts hurting from chewing on them, but they're so good.
Mm-hmm. They are. I just need a little something sweet before we got going here. So
Were you napping?
no, actually, I was in the park on the phone.
Oh, wow.
I was I
Taking pictures of kids?
haha, not on the phone in that way. I was went over and helped my folks a little bit today, and then I stopped at a place and did some work in a cafe for a while. And then as I was leaving there, my friend from Florida texted and was like, hey, do you have time to talk now? And we had done the whole like, when's a good time to catch up last week, and just never really caught up. And I was like, yeah. So I just called her and then got home and went over to the park and walked around the park a little bit, but then sat down for a while. And then it was like, oh, it's time to go get on Scrutiny. So
Here we are.
yes, we are.
You are much better at keeping up with all your friends than I am.
I don't know. I have my moments.
So I just want my friends to know that I do love you and I will see you at some point. And if you ever want to talk to me, I'm always on my phone on Messenger. So.
Well, I don't like to say that because I am not. Well, part of the thing too is I think I shared with this with you earlier this week, and I actually had this conversation with my therapist on Monday, is that I have been beating myself up about not being good at getting back to people and all that stuff. And
Right.
Okay, well, maybe I'm just not good with communicating. And then I went through and I added up how many messages, and of course you had more. But I thought, okay, in the last week, I had like 33 messages open between Messenger and text. And that doesn't include Instagram, which there's a couple of conversations there. And that didn't include WhatsApp, which has a couple different conversations in there, and LinkedIn, and definitely not email. So I was like, maybe I need to give myself a little bit of a break and realize that I just have a lot of different things going on, and that's what makes it hard to keep up with all the things. And inevitably, sometimes somebody messages me and it's right in the middle of, like, if 3 things come in at a time, it's like, sorry, I missed you. You sent it at the wrong time, and it's no fault of your own, but it just got bogged down with the flow. So, yeah, there's that. But I try to keep things moving forward. And
Yeah, well, that's good. Well, People are busy. We have busy lives now. It used to be a lot easier for me when I was a stay-at-home mom to keep up with my friends because I was home and you
Hmm.
could drop by or I could be on the phone, and it's just not like that now. So,
Right.
and I can't have people over because my dog's an a-hole. So,
Fair. Well,
speaking of dogs, what can I talk about my dog and then we'll catch up on some other stuff?
yeah, let's hear about your dog.
Well, Milo has been having seizures. I don't know why I chose right now to open. He just started having seizures like what, 6 months ago, maybe less.
Mhm.
And he hadn't had him, the whole earlier time we've had him. And the doctor said, if he has about once a month, it's okay. We're not going to worry about it. But it was getting to be like every 3 weeks. And so I was thinking, well, we should probably see that. But the vet, I just didn't like that vet at all that's been seeing him.
Mhm.
And so anyway, yesterday he had 4 seizures. He had 2 in the night, 1 in
Wow.
the morning, and then he had 1 last night. And I was really worried about it because the first vet that we saw was like, oh, well, it's unusual for a dog to start having seizures at this age. So he
Mm.
probably, he could very easily have a brain tumor or something. So that's just been in the back of my mind that there's something wrong with my dog. And of course, it's the dog that is my heart that, is with me all the time and
Right.
sat next to me after Noah died, just glued to me all the time. But so we took him to a neurologist because that was what they said is if he continues to have seizures more often, you're going to have to take him to a neurologist. So I did a lot of phone calls yesterday. I stayed at home and called several vets and got a recommendation, or not even a referral, but where to go. So I got him an appointment for 10 o'clock this morning, and we took him in there, and it was like, poor dog was so nervous, but I don't want to make this long story long. What was good was I know enough about seizures from Andrew having seizures
Mhm.
that I know like you're supposed to like get blood levels of the drug, but this doctor acted like this was the only drug that they could have and this was the only dose he could have, basically. And so I was like, I'm wondering why they're not checking his levels to make sure that, of course, that first thing they said today was like, well, we got to get blood levels. And I was thinking, yeah, it was
Right.
just like everything I said just made so much sense that the other place hadn't done, that I
Right.
had been throwing around in my head, like, why aren't they doing this or that,
Yeah.
So anyway, they got his blood levels done. They won't be back till probably Monday. And then they gave us a drug that we can give to him while he's in a seizure, if he has another one, that to stop the seizure.
Okay.
Um, so, and then we'll talk about changing the dosage possibly or whatever, or adding another medication once we get the blood work back. And uh, they were just so matter of fact. But of course, they're neurologists, they see seizures all the time. And it was just kind of like, well, we just got to do the usual things that we do, and then we'll see where and it just felt like such a relief.
Yeah. Just to have someone where he's like in the hands of someone who knows what they're doing and are gonna
Right, right.
have some things move forward.
And having a son with disabilities, let me tell you that I've been through the ringer with doctors, just
Oh, I'm sure.
people doctors, and there are very many shitty doctors.
Mm.
There's a lot. So if you have a good doctor, like be so happy about it and let them know you're happy about it, because man, there's some bummers out there. So I feel much better. I can feel like I can go to work tomorrow, not worry at all about him, So it's good. So that was a good thing. So that's one like check mark off my mind.
Yeah. Nice.
So what are you up to?
I just signed up to do a 21-day challenge for positioning my business in the right way to grow it the way that I want to.
Mm-hmm.
And that starts at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So I was thinking it's like
Oh,
next week. I knew it was Friday, but I thought it was next Friday. So but I'm on board. I got it. I'm really excited about it because I've worked with this guy who puts it on before. He's already helped me out a lot. Like, it's one of those things where I already feel like I've gotten enough free stuff from him that I feel like even if I didn't get any more, I'd be paying him for what I already got. But
Right.
he's
So do
guaranteed.
you like have meetings every day, or do you?
Well, there's a Zoom meeting once a week,
Book?
and each week
Okay.
is focused, and it's just for 3 weeks. Each week is focused on a different aspect of getting yourself lined up with the right messaging in the market, and then soliciting feedback from clients and stuff like that. And then but we have a meeting weekly, and it's a group challenge. So there's a Zoom meeting with everybody in the group, kind of like a mastermind, and then we'll be kind of paired off with group to do some homework during the week with our partners or our team, however the dynamics are set up. So yeah, it'll be some continual work during the week. And he's a good guy. It's not like, okay, you get your 21 days and then you're done. He says, if you don't see results in the next 3 months, we'll keep working with you to make it happen.
Right.
So I am
Well,
looking
that's
forward.
cool.
Plus, it comes with some of his software for 3 to 6 months or something like that, which, like, that right there is enough of a value to cover it. So
Cool.
I'm looking forward to it because it's software I was actually looking at buying anyway. So this is a good
Uh-huh.
way
Well,
to
that's
get.
cool. So you're gonna be like all serious the next 21 days. I should leave you alone.
And well, it's one of those things that it's in line with what I was already working on. So it's almost just like having some help for what I was already had as my first goals for this month anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so in a way, it's making it more intense, but it's actually bringing better focus into what I wanted to be working on. So it's not like adding necessarily a lot more to the plate in that regard. And yeah, and it's going to just bring such great results that I am excited.
Good.
So yeah, so that starts tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. and it's just going to be awesome. So yep. And then I have a show. Well, I'm hosting karaoke tonight down at Otter. So if y'all want to hang out for that. And then on the 8th, next Thursday, so a week from today, I have a show at L&M Firehouse in Ording. I'll be featured.
When is that?
Thursday. Next Thursday, the 8th.
Next Thursday?
Yes. So
Oh, that's fun.
that's going to be a fun show.
That's a fun, crazy place. Have you been there?
Yeah, I've done a set there before. It's fun.
Well, cool.
I can't remember if I hosted or did a guest set or what it was, but yeah, it's a fun room.
Cool.
So what do you got going on?
I don't think I don't think I have anything this week. I'm getting my nails done on Saturday. Next week, I'll be in Salem, Oregon at the Sanctuary Club. So that's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just preparing for my weekend at the new Tacoma Comedy Club location.
Yeah, that's coming up right around the corner.
It is, and I want to make sure my set is flawless. So I've been working on tweaking some stuff and figuring out exactly what I'm going to do. That's fun now. I'm going to invite some people from work, and they're notorious for not coming.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to pull the old, like, this is my last time. I'm not going to be here anymore. It's like, can be like a nice, like, going away party.
Be the best. Like, I don't want a retirement party. I want you guys to come to my show.
Yeah, right.
In lieu of gifts, buy a ticket. That's what your flyer should say. Cheri's retirement show. That's funny. That's cool. That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that place, I haven't been in there yet. I almost stopped in there today, but I was not out the door early enough with some stuff I had going on. Because I was like, I needed to decide where I was going to go work. And so one of these days I'm going to get in there. There's also a new bagel place that opened up on South Tacoma Way called Howdy Bagel. And I drove by there on my way to my parents' house thinking maybe I'll just get a bagel for breakfast. And the line was out the door and down in front of the next business.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gotta wait for that place to cool down a little bit, I guess.
Yeah. And that was already at like 11:30. And then I went to my folks, and it's only a couple blocks from there. So then I went past it on my way back, and I started to park in front of it. And the line was still to the door, but there was a sign on the door that said, "We're out of bagels." And so I was like, well, if they're out, and by then it was about 1:30 or 2. And I was just like, well, if they're out of bagels, that's what I was going to get. And I don't know what everybody's waiting in line for then, but they've been selling bagels at pop-up shops and like farmers markets for a while. So they've been, and they have a following, and they have, I've heard really good things about their bagels, but I was like, oh, I'll go support their new shop. And I'm like, well, I guess they don't need me right now. I'll go soon, but
Yeah, well, that's good.
yeah.
I mean, it's good for them to like come out hot like that.
Yeah.
I like a good bagel myself.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a cold bagel eater
Really?
until I toasted one time.
Yeah, I love them toasted. I don't know if I've had them cold like in a pinch, but I'd prefer it toasted. I don't know what makes it taste different. Like sourdough, I love sourdough toasted.
Mm-hmm.
Actually anything, just yeah. I also went to a new business. Coffee Oasis opened a coffee shop in Tacoma on Tacoma Avenue. It's beautiful in there, and they do a lot of work for youth shelters in the area. Like all the money goes towards that. They have a shelter right behind the building. It's all part of a program to help young kids stay off the street. And so it just feels good to support that. But I went in there, and the food, had a breakfast bowl there, and it was just delicious, and good coffee, awesome people. So go support those guys.
Boy, you just get out and about, don't you?
Well, I have some people that I like when I have meetings, I try to schedule them at different places, like each time. So,
Mm-hmm.
and on the same street, but about 10 blocks down, I also last week went to Common Ground Coffee, and that's another new coffee shop that's just gorgeous on the inside. And they give you like coffee in like a little martini glass, like a fancy drink. Like it was fun. So,
I didn't know we needed that many coffee shops. As a person who doesn't drink coffee,
yeah, I don't, and the thing is, I don't even drink that much coffee, but it's the place to meet and get work done for me. So, like if I go through my day, every once in a while I will stop and get a cup of coffee just because there's a couple baristas that I think are cute and I want to go buy a drink from. But like I don't, like if I'm home all day, I don't make coffee. When I buy coffee, it's always decaf. And when I only really buy the coffee to basically pay the rent that I'm using for the table space while I'm working there. So,
right.
but I'm very take it or leave it. So what's the best thing you ate this week?
Well, I don't go out that much. So my picks are always really silly, but well, first of all, I made green chicken enchiladas last night. Mwah, they were beautiful. But today I ate a cluck sandwich from Jack in the Box.
A cluck sandwich, huh? It's like a chicken sandwich?
It's a chicken sandwich. They already have a couple other chicken sandwiches.
Right.
Has like a red sauce on it that's maybe like partially sriracha.
Okay.
I didn't really taste the heat, but I felt my nose running. And then it has pickles, and it's just a thick.
Oh, like is it like a Nashville chicken sandwich kind of? Is that what those are?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So, but it was good, and
okay.
That's the best I can do for something good I ate.
Wow, you know what I had for the first time ever this week, which was the most delicious thing I had this week, was I had never had a Reuben sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
That was the special at the Parkway this week, and it was so nice. I ate it twice because I got two of them, not in the same day, but I was like,
Right.
I'll get another one of those. So that was delicious, and nothing that I've never had a desire to have sauerkraut. So when it's like when they say, "Oh, it has this and sauerkraut," I'm like, "Ooh, like that does not sound good." That was a good
But you
sandwich.
put it all together and it's really
Oh,
good,
yeah.
isn't it? I know I had my first one as an adult also. It was probably more like 10 years ago or 10 or 15. And I'd always thought, ew. And then no, but it was great. It was
Yeah.
actually, I actually tried it at a place that was called Olive Branch Cafe.
Okay.
And they had one in Federal Way. And then they moved to Freight House.
Oh, okay.
And then they did teas there and stuff. And I never got to go, I never went to that location, but I think she's moved. But real nice ladies. And yeah, that was awesome.
Okay.
Much.
Nice.
So you went to a friend's house and watched movies? What did you watch?
So one night we watched. So someone was supposed to make it and didn't, and there was confusion on what night it was happening. So it ended up being 2 nights in a row. First night we watched the Johnny Depp Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
Kind of a weird choice, but it was just worked out that way. Which was a weird oddball, typical Johnny Depp kind of movie. I mean, it was fine, but I had never seen it, so that was interesting. And the next night we watched Beetlejuice,
Oh,
classic. So that was fun. Both
hmm,
nights were and good conversations and stuff. But
right.
yeah, it was an outdoor. They have a like a projector out on their deck and the outdoor movie night.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so done that once or twice with them before last summer, and so it's cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I told myself, oh, I can't wait to talk about what I watched. Can't remember it all. What it was that was so good that I watched this week.
hmm
It's gone.
I turned on the TV to watch a show, and I did not end up starting a show.
What?
So I just whatever. I was like, oh, I'll watch a movie tonight, and then nothing looked like worth starting. So
Well, I finished a couple shows that I had already started talking about. So I don't need to talk about those. I did start watching a documentary. So
okay,
I watched it up to the part, but it's about what's her name? See if I can find it. I have it right here, but my phone wants to be dumb right
Catherine
now. What?
Hepburn.
Natalia Grace.
Oh, you watched the one about Natalia Grace?
Yes.
Oh, who's she?
I knew you were gonna. I knew you were fucking with me. Um, she was from.
Oh, she's the one that has that true crime show, and she does the like all day
Oh,
long
stop it!
the
That's
Natalia
Nancy.
Grace show, and she picks a thing and she just stays on it.
Nope, that's Nancy.
Oh,
She got adopted from Russia, I think.
okay.
But they thought she was a little person, and they say no, she was actually an adult.
Oh,
They thought she was 6, but then there's like, no, she was not 6. She was like 22.
oh, but was a little person.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then there's all everyone trying to figure out like, is she an adult or is she a kid? And she's like, is she evil or the people that adopted
Is
her
she
are
the one
evil?
that they adopted her and then took her back?
Well,
I
they
saw
didn't,
something that said that the story about this girl who got adopted in Russia, and then the parents thought that she was evil, so they took her back and left her there.
well, her previous parents did that. Oh, they didn't take her back, but
Oh, then this is
anyway,
right.
it's very interesting. The parents are the dad. I haven't actually seen the mom speaking yet, but the dad's freaking weird. Like he has crazy eyes. You know, when someone has those just crazy eyes,
Yeah.
got those, and he really is over telling the story. And then they would show him on camera telling it one time and then telling the same story again, totally differently. So it's all just uh then there's a lady down the street going, I'm the nosy neighbor, and she's like a young Gladys Kravitz, and
Oh no.
it's just a hot cluster of weirdos.
So is it one that you're like partway through, like you don't know the end yet?
Well, I think it's episodes.
Okay.
So
Because
I've
you said you
watched it
hadn't heard
all
the
the
mom
way.
talk yet, so I thought maybe it must not be done.
What?
You said you hadn't heard the mom talk yet, so I thought maybe.
Yeah, so it's like it left me hanging, so I'm assuming it's episodes and there's another one coming. I
Okay.
don't know. Did you hear the news, by the way?
No, what's the news?
The news, the Sex and the City news.
Uh-uh.
What is the name of the new Sex and the City show?
Golden Girls?
Yeah. Anyway, guess who's coming back?
Oh, this is the one where one of the girls didn't come to the new show, right?
Mhm.
So who didn't come to the new one? Was it Samantha?
Samantha.
Okay, so she's coming back to the new show now?
Yes, they
Okay.
just announced today that she was recording something, so she's at least making a guest spot.
Well,
I
that's
don't know.
fun. I forget what it's called, like All in the Family or Now We're Here or
And so it goes, or as good as
Oh,
it gets, or it starts with an A. I don't
as
know.
time goes
Always,
by, or
yeah, who knows? So,
they should have named it Yada 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 in the City.
well, they should have named it. We fucked up by making this new show. So,
Yeah. Some things you just can't remake. Like I don't think they could redo like a later version of Friends or Seinfeld or any of the, like to pull
no,
the people together later.
right. Well, because it was a phenomenon for that time and that era and that
Yeah.
space. Just.
And their personalities that melded based on where they were at in their life and what was going on.
And when we all get older, we get a little, I don't want to say more boring because I don't really think I'm more boring, but just more set in our ways and just
Well,
don't go out as much. So it looked weird for a bunch of 50 plus women all going out every night and picking up guys. And that's
well, it also gets tiresome where you're like, okay, we can't watch you not get your life together for decades, right?
Right.
Like there's at some point there's an assumption that you will move on to the next phase.
Right. Yeah. So
yeah,
there's that, but I'm excited about that because I just heard that today.
that's exciting. That's exciting. I may have to watch some of that show then.
As well.
I heard it wasn't very good, so it's kind of like, yeah.
It really wasn't. So, but oh, I just saw that you posted something and I thought it said 1 minute ago. I'm like, really? You posted stuff 1 minute ago, but it says 1 hour. So never mind.
That's how engrossed I am in this conversation.
Yeah. I wanted to tell you, we've been talking about, social media addiction and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you where you're at on that.
I'm doing pretty well. I've been keeping my Facebook, once you start distancing yourself from it a little bit, when you go back to, well, I shouldn't say that. I need to only speak for me. And I hate when people speak in generalities like that. Now that I have distanced myself from it, when I go back to it, I find it much less interesting.
Yeah, I would agree with that because I feel like you fill your day with other things and then you're like, I wasn't missing
I'm
much.
like, who cares? Like I make my posts and promote what I got to promote and kind of check up on everybody and look at my notifications and then I'm moving on. And really, like today, I'm 2 hours less than I was yesterday that I've used it. And that's, I've only been doing it on my phone. And I picked up my tablet and thought to look at it. And it was like, you've used your tablet 2.5 hours less than you did last week. So even the usage is going down on that. And I'm not even trying to not use that.
No, that's good. I didn't do as well yesterday, but in general, I haven't been online very much the last week. So that's been good.
Well, it's when you're busy. It's like the other day at work. I was so busy, I didn't even have a chance till 11 o'clock or 10 or 11 to even look at my phone.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm actually working like a real person.
Right. Yeah, I know. It's like, um, yeah. And there's even to the point where it's like, oh, there's things I should be checking on or promoting or whatever, but I don't have the time to. And I need to, apparently I need to clean up some space on my computer because it wouldn't let me save my latest podcast episode because my computer is full. And I just need to go pull raw videos off and put them in my backup drive. So that's what I was going to do this morning and I didn't get to it, but that'll be actually the rest of the day. I'll be working on that so I can clear up some space because I have all the raw Zoom recordings plus the episode recordings that have already been posted and I don't need them sitting on my laptop. So
Right. I know. I am actually thinking about hiring somebody to clean up my computer and just move files around.
mhm.
Like put all my scrutiny stuff in one folder and all my
Yeah,
in another folder and because I've got headshots of from all the shows I've promoted. I've got all these other people's headshots and all the posters that I've made, and it just so
yeah,
much to scroll through and when I'm looking for a picture or something.
yeah. I used to have a file I would keep on my desktop for stuff like that. I would just call it temporary. And whenever I had stuff that I was getting the pictures for projects and stuff, I would download it into the temporary file. And that way every month I knew that I could delete that file and I wouldn't be deleting anything that I needed. So that I was like, "Oh, I don't need to keep, sharing
Yeah,
things."
because I'll tell you right now, my download folder
Oh yeah, that gets
is
full.
where I put everything, and I haven't like moved anything out of there. And so nothing is labeled like
Right.
with a name. So I'm
Yeah.
just going through this gigantic folder, just like when someone asks for a headshot, like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that needs to be taken care of at some point. But that kind of stuff I lose patience with because there's just too
I
much.
get a little bit hyper focused with things like that sometimes where I to a point, like I'll get 80% of the way through it and then I just abort. So, but if I
Yeah,
got that much done, it would be a big cleanup.
right.
So,
I have been doing good about keeping my emails cleaned out because they were like, can't have any more emails, can't send any more emails. You've used all your space.
oh yeah.
So tens of thousands of emails just sitting. So I'm at least I'm checking my junk folder every day and then deleting those and trying
Yeah.
to keep on top of it. So, I was looking at this article about like the steps and you know, lessening your social media. And the next one I was on was number 5, and it said to take up jogging,
Okay.
which is ridiculous. So we're just skipping to number 6. And it
Well,
was like jogging is a perfect starting exercise. Running is a perfect starting exercise. No, it's not.
well, it could be I mean, I think it's interesting that they pick a specific exercise because it could just say go outside or do an outdoor activity. Or
Right. Or walking. Like maybe
or-
let's start with walking.
yeah.
And if you're up to it, jogging, but that just was ridiculous. But anyway, so we're just skipping that next one.
Yeah.
Don't compare yourself to others.
You know what? I just sent you a video today about that.
You did. Oh
Yes, because
yes, I looked at that.
I liked the message and I was like, oh, I'm gonna send that to Cheri. I was already like gonna send it to you partway through it because whatever they were saying I liked it, and then that's what it ended with. And I was like, oh, that's nice.
Right. And then at this article, it was just kind of like, well, don't compare yourself to others. Well, okay, if you do that, how do you stop?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
So I found something.
Okay, great. What did it say?
Well, first of all, you have to think about like, why do you
Mm-hmm.
compare yourself to others? Do you do it because you have low self-esteem, or there's a certain thing, like, even like not even a social media, but just like you see some really attractive person with a beautiful body. It's like, why don't I look like that? I think it's just human nature in some ways to compare ourselves with others. But the thing that, and we know this about social media, is that you're looking at their highlight reel.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
looking at their outsides, where you're looking at your own insides and your daily drudgery of life or whatever, you're getting
Right.
up and
Like we
going to
see
work.
everything in our own lives, but we're comparing it to only the best of someone else's life.
Right. So we're comparing our lesser qualities with other people's best qualities. So if you want to stop comparing yourself to others, you've got to beware of your triggers. As always, like if someone brags and then that makes you feel inadequate, well, stay away from those people or whatever.
Yeah, because
And
sometimes you need to unfollow or not pay as much attention to people, not because there's anything wrong with them or because they harmed you, but just because you're not receiving it well.
right,
And you
right.
think, it's nothing that I don't have hate or I'm happy for that person, but I'm not in a healthy enough mindset to receive the good things going on in their life. So I just need to step away from that.
Yeah.
And totally be okay with the fact that it's my problem and not theirs.
Mm-hmm. But the one thing I looked at several different articles, and one thing that they all mentioned was to practice gratitude and count your own blessings and all the good things that are in your life.
Mm,
And all your
right.
accomplishments and stuff like that.
It's really gratitude. I used to not get it. I always felt like people said, oh yeah, be grateful, have a gratitude journal, practice being grateful, practice gratitude, all this stuff. And I was just like, can we stop with the buzzwords and the this and the that? But it really does solve so many things.
There's a reason for it,
I get it now.
They said focus on your strengths. You can, if you want to make a list of your best qualities, or just we've talked about this before, things that make you feel good. But it also talks about spreading positivity by cheering other people on.
Yeah, I like
So
that.
if you see someone and you think, like I've been really trying to just, if I see someone's post, like another comedian, they've got something good going on, to at least just give it a like. As how is that going to hurt me? And it's going to be positive for them. Now, sometimes you can think that you're like helping someone else, and they may, my leg hurts really bad. I can't even lift it. They may not want to take that from you, so that's fine, but that's just me and what I'm going through right now. So never mind. And remember, we all have insecurities, and use your past self as a benchmark to compare. Instead of compare with someone else, it's like, well, look what I used to do. Like I used to be just an open mic comedian, and I used to,
Right.
I used to be only able to do 5 minutes. Now I can do an hour. Whatever
Right.
your comparison of your past self is.
Yeah, I've heard that where it's like, just be better today than you were yesterday. It doesn't, you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to be better than everybody on the planet.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't
Good
know if I
advice.
really can do any like action with that for this week, because I've been making a conscious effort, because we've already talked about that, to just
Mhm.
try
Yeah, I
not to
feel like you've
compare
already been
myself.
kind of working in that area. So maybe none of those are earth shattering, but they are good reminders.
Right. I'm going to see what the next step is and see if maybe I can just.
They're also good reminders to do things that you might already be doing, but with a little more purpose, or to look for ways to do them or chances to do them.
All right. The next thing is set boundaries. So not only like picking, like picking a time, maybe I can, now that I've like lowered my time, maybe I can lower it a skosh more, because I seem to be comfortable where I'm at.
Yeah.
But it also talks about unfollowing people that make you feel triggered or make you feel negative things, which we've talked about before too. And
Mhm.
sometimes they may not be a positive, they might not be a negative person, but just like they're sometimes with me, just their lack of interaction with me. When I like want to be their friend or I want to,
Yeah.
and I don't get anything back, then I unfollow those people.
No, I have unfollowed a lot of people where I have felt like the transfer of energy is lopsided, where
Right.
like it's nothing against the person, but it's like, why am I? Because I feel like, and this isn't me being bitter about it, it's bothersome to me that if I'm putting a bunch of likes or comments on someone's content because they're filling my feed, but they're never giving anything back to me, all of the posts of theirs that are popping up on my feed are taking up space for people that are interacting with me. So I don't think that's fair to the people that we do have a a genuine relationship with. So it's like I need to clear them out of my feed for the people that I do interact with so that they have a chance for me to interact with as well.
That's a good point. So that's pretty much the whole article. The other thing just talks about taking some breaks. Pick maybe one day a week where you just don't go on social media,
Yeah.
or when you're on vacation with your family or whatever you want to choose. So I feel good that I have lessened my amount of time. That makes me feel good. And I have a couple times thought I really want to be on Facebook, but it doesn't make me feel good. So I am going to go on TikTok.
Mhm.
And my TikTok is set up that there's nothing negative on it, nothing that makes me feel negative. So,
Good.
so ta-da. So see, my husband thinks TikTok is the devil, but
Uh,
it really has helped me in some ways. So
well, and TikTok is one of those things. It is so specific to each person that you sit next to somebody who you might have a ton in common with, and they're going to see just a completely different feed.
I know it's like when I talk to Jordan, he'll go, "No, he doesn't do TikTok either. Who is it?" Someone's like, "Oh, have you seen that one guy on TikTok that does this? Have you seen this one guy on TikTok?" And I'm like, "No."
And they're like, and they'll say they're all over TikTok. How have you not seen it? And they have like 4 million followers. It's like, well, apparently I'm not in that lane.
Right. Yeah. But everybody says, "Have you seen that one really handsome comedian?" Like, yes, Matt Rife. Yes, I've seen him. Like,
Oh, of course.
everybody
Yeah.
says that. That's so funny. He's
Yeah.
coming here soon.
Is he? He's fucking adorable.
Yeah, but he's doing like not a comedy club show. And I think to me,
Oh,
if I wanted to see him, I want to be up close.
yeah. He's doing like a theater or something, like Paramount or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
Well,
know.
he's gotten pretty big. So that
Yeah.
makes.
I mean, good for him, but
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
I would just be going to be a looky Lou. Speaking of Lou, Mary Lou Gamba is at Tacoma Comedy Club tonight.
Oh,
So
is she?
if you're
Nice.
watching this and you like funny comedians,
Yeah. She's hilarious.
sure. I'm kind of thinking about going, but I know I'll probably decide that I don't want to put pants on or something by then. I'm anti-pant.
That's fair.
I've been wearing a bra around the house lately.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that my husband grabs my boobs a lot more when they're sticking out than when they're dangling. So just thought I'd report that. He's just always honking them now.
Nice.
Well, I'm not sure what we're going to do for dinner because we have leftover enchiladas, but we ate like maybe 2/3 of the pan last night.
Okay.
So we don't have as much.
Don't have enough for the full second meal. That's tricky. I don't know. I have food here. I think I might make some quesadillas, or I don't know. I got some hummus and cucumbers and carrots. Maybe I'll just eat that and snack. Not sure.
You know, hummus is it's either good or it's not. You know what I'm saying?
I never used to like it, and now I'll get it every once in a while. And
Well, if you get a good hummus, it's good, but not all hummus is good.
I just get the basic Sabra tub, and I don't know.
Because I know when Kaylee got married, they had some hummus at their wedding reception.
Hmm.
That was so good that I was like, oh, I didn't know that I liked hummus.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So should find out where she got that from.
Yeah, you should.
Anyway, I got nothing else to say.
Okay, well, it's almost 5 o'clock, so I'll let you
Well, there
enjoy
we go. Well,
whatever you
thanks
wanna do.
everybody that's watching for sticking with us.
Yeah,
And
it's been fun. It's been a
I guess
pleasure.
this week I'm gonna like notice. I said this before, but I'm gonna deliberately go get something good to eat somewhere
Okay. Can't wait to see what that is or hear
and
about it.
write down what I watch so I can remember.
Nice.
All right. Bye.
All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.